You're ready to build the one-piece foam cowl. That's right, you're about to make this guy right here. It'll be in basically three parts. One will be making the headpiece, one will be making the neck, and then the combination of the two, combining them. You don't have to combine them, obviously. It's a pretty awesome neck seal, it's a pretty awesome headpiece that you want to use separately. But I suggest doing this because this is really freaking cool. Without further ado, let's get to building. Alright, so to start, we're going to take piece A and glue it on this side. We're going to glue these two sides of piece B and this one side of piece C. Once the glue is dried, attach A to B along their edges, starting at their bottoms, like so. Once you start connecting them, you'll see that both pieces start to warp. That's what we want, so don't worry. Now we're going to attach the A and B piece to C, again starting at the bottom. Attaching this will be a little bit tricky and it will warp drastically, but again, that's what we want. So just be patient and connect them together. Now do the same, but for the other side of the neck seal. Once you now have the two sides of the neck seal, glue them along the remaining edges of the C pieces like so. Alright, you've now completed the neck seal. Something that I would suggest doing is taking 1mm strips of foam and gluing them along the seam lines to add extra durability and strength, especially if you're going to be attaching it to the headpiece for the full Batman cowl, the one-piece Batman cowl. First, grab one of the HA pieces and add a 45-degree angle inward from the marked face like so. This angle will ensure a sharp-edged nose covering for the faceplate. You can do this step when you initially cut the piece or with the Dremel like I do. We're going to do the same for the other HA piece as well as the two HB pieces along the marked line, but instead for HB we're going to be creating an angle outward like so. Now do the same for both HB and HA pieces. We're going to now glue the HA pieces and HB pieces together. Glue angles of HA we just made, and glue the angled edge of HB, as well as the edge, not the face, of the upper part of HB. Next we're going to grab the HF piece, where we're going to add a twisting angle starting at those markers you see. Take a piece of sandpaper or Dremel in my case, and sand down a twist like so. This will allow the faceplate to go from the inside face of HF to the edges smoothly. Once the glue is dry, you can start putting the HAs together like I do here. Make sure you pinch like I do to make sure that the nose cover is sharp. Then, attach the angled edge of HB to either side, starting at the bottom of HA like so, on the edge of HA. This creates this desired angle between the nose and the cheekbones area. Glue the top edge of HB horizontally along HA like so. This creates the brow of the faceplate of the cowl. Now do the same thing, just mirrored for the other piece. Next, you'll want to grab the HD and HF pieces and glue along the edges that face each other in this still. Once dried, attach them like so. Make sure that the arrows are pointed the same direction, otherwise your ears are going to look really, really wonky. You'll start to see HD warp HF near the top, and that's what we want. Next, take HG and glue the edge of HG and HF that face like this still. The smaller dip at the bottom of HD should be closer to HF than the larger dip. HD will also warp HF, and you'll start to see the cowl taking shape. Now do the same thing, just mirrored for the other piece. Take HE and HC and glue the edges that I'm showing you here. Once dried, glue HC into HF where there is that dip like so. Now do the same thing, just mirrored for the other piece. Alrighty, so now we're going to pre-glue HF inside where HH will be attached like I'm showing you. Glue HH on just these two edges here and here. From the point of the ear, glue 3 inches away from the tip of the ear like so on either side. Now do the same thing, just mirrored for the other piece. Now we're going to glue the combined HE and C pieces to the rest of the head. Glue along the outward edges of HD and HG like so. but we're only going to be gluing on either side of the markers for the H, E, and C piece, leaving a gap inside the markers like so. Once the glue is dry, start placing the H, E, and C piece at the front here, but only until the marker. Once you're just about at the marker, bend the piece like so and glue down at the marker. We're going to jump over the ear. Flip to the back of both pieces and glue H, E, and C, repeating the process we just did until the marker, bending again at the marker. Now we can really see the cowl coming to life. Next, we will be inserting HH to finish the ear. Pinch the ear of the bigger piece and make that point the first contact for HH. Then move down either side until HH is glued down. Now glue the two halves of the head together, like so. Now we're going to attach the faceplate to the rest of the body. Glue along the outside edges of the faceplate like so, and adding some glue on the inner face that I'm pointing to here just in case. Now we're going to glue on the inside of the headpiece along either side right down to the sanded down angle we did earlier in the marker. And we're also going to glue the edges past this to the end. So we're going to do the faces inside until the marker, and then we're going to transition to the edges after the marker, like so. Once the glue is dry, we're going to attach the faceplate to the head. Make sure you start attaching at the brow and that the center line of the forehead and the center line of the nose line up perfectly, like so. Then start to attach the edges of the faceplate to the inner face of the rest of the headpiece, one side at a time. but stop attaching the face when you get to the marker, and do the same for the other side. Now we're going to take the edges of the faceplate and transition them from the inside of the headpiece to the edges like so. We're now done the headpiece of the cowl. Take this time to try on the cowl, adjust the eye holes for better view, and add a strap to the chin or glue it together, whatever works for you. Now to start connecting the head to the neck piece, glue the entire bottom edge of the headpiece just in case. Glue the top edge of the neck seal until the markers, maybe a little further along but not too far past the markers. Now once the glue is dried on both the head and the neck, start by lining up the center of the seam of the back of the neck and the head like so. Once you do, start attaching the two pieces here from one side to the other. Make sure to press hard and pinch the pieces together to ensure a strong bond. Patience is key here, and it is a complicated attachment, but it does pay off. Before we move on, I would suggest cutting 1mm strips of foam and gluing them along the seam line between the head and the neck piece to secure. Look at that, you're now done building the foam one-piece Batman cowl. So the next part is really up to you, how you connect the neck piece. You use Velcro, elastic, magnets, or a zipper. I don't know.